Primary 5, welcome back with Miss Nella and Saduta on our thematic online learning. Our lesson today is about types of ecosystem. The first type of ecosystem is forest ecosystem. The characteristics are usually forests located in tropical area. Tropical area, example of tropical area like Indonesia. So as you know, Indonesia has many forests, tropical forests. Second is has heavy rainfall atau curah hujan tinggi. Third, has tight tree branches. And the fourth is has biodiversity atau keanekaragaman biota. Biotic factors like tree or the plants is like tree heterogen tree like jati, mahoni, oak, orchid, and other. And animals is tiger, koala, orangutan, elephant, uh, monkey, and others. Abiotic factors like sunlight, soil, air, water, temperature, wind, rocks, and others. Second ecosystem is grassland. Characteristic are vegetation structure dominated by grasses. So the plants in grassland is dominated by grasses. Okay, rainfall and soils insufficient to support significant tree growth. So as you can see in the picture, there is no tree because a rainfall is sufficient to support the growth, the tree growth. Okay, grassland are often exploited for agriculture use. Biotic factors like plants is grass and animals is like zebra, bison, lion, and others. For abiotic factors, there are sunlight, soil, air, water, a stone, temperature, and wind. Next is savanna ecosystem. Okay, as you can see, savanna and grassland it's like a similar ecosystem, but as you can see in the picture, there is tree. So the characteristics are low rainfall. The only type of plant is xerophyte. Xerophyte means plants that live in area with little water. Trees grow far apart, and then even though savanna has low rainfall, but the rainfall is sufficient to support tree growth. Okay, and then for the biotic factors is tree, plants in the savanna like acacia tree, baobab tree, grass, and then the animals is like zebra, lion, buffalo, giraffe, hyena, and others. And then for abiotic factor is like sunlight, soil, air, water, temperature, wind, rocks. There are some rocks too. And the next is desert ecosystem. Okay, this is the picture of desert ecosystem. Characteristics are has low rainfall. The land is very dry and cannot store water. High solar heat intensity. Very high evaporation rate, very low humidity. I will tell you in Indonesia, very high evaporation rate, penguapannya sangat cepat, very low humidity, kelembabannya rendah, has extreme temperature. It is very hot during the day and very cold during the night. Okay, for biotic factors is plant like cactus, Joshua tree, Mojave aster, and then the animals like scorpion, snake, desert tortoise, and camel. For abiotic factors like sunlight, sand, air, rocks, and then the temperature. Next, tundra ecosystem, or you can say it North Pole and South Pole. Characteristic are has a very cold climate, very low biodiversity, short growing and reproductive season. It means uh, the plants or animals has short reproductive season. Okay, the biotic factors like animals is polar bear, walrus, penguin, and then the abiotic factor is snow, water, temperature, air, and soil. Okay, next, taiga ecosystem. This is taiga ecosystem. Before that, I will tell you the difference between tundra ecosystem and taiga ecosystem. Yeah. The tundra ecosystem, the land of tundra ecosystem, is covered with ice, also the sea. As you can see, the taiga, it has several plants, yeah, but it is homogeneous plants. Okay, now plants that survive are homogeneous, one type of tree, like pine tree, yeah. The temperature difference in summer and winter is very high. During winter, there is heavy snowfall. Okay, biotic factor like plants, like I said, homogeneous, like only pine tree or spruce tree, and the animals is grizzly bear, squirrel, snowshoe hare, snowcat, wildebeest, wolf, and other. And then the abiotic, sunlight, snow, water, temperature, air, rocks, and other.
Hey class, let's continue the lesson. Now we're going to go to the ocean ecosystem. The ocean ecosystem, we can see lots of animals because the ocean is very rich and it is 85% of the whole earth. The characteristic of the ocean ecosystems are there are differences temperature between the open ocean and the deep ocean. Second of all, it has high salinity level. Salinity means the condition being salty, meaning there are a lot of salt in certain parts of the deep sea. Next, it is not so affected by weather and climatic condition because it's located under the water, whether it's raining or snowing, it doesn't really affect the animals under the ocean. Now, there are several biotic factors that we can see in the ocean. First is plant in a form of kelp, water wheel, seaweed, and then there's also phytoplankton that creates a lot of food in the ocean. And then there are animals such as fish, whale, shark, octopus, seahorse, starfish, coral, and etc. Now, the abiotic factors are sunlight, especially in the open ocean. However, this sunlight does not really reach the deep ocean, which means that it is very dark in the deep ocean and the sunlight cannot penetrate or light the deep ocean. There's water, of course, temperature, sand, salt, and so on. Now, we know that there's also a freshwater ecosystem that is located such as in the lake, in the river, and in the pond. Yeah. These freshwater ecosystems are rich based on the places. And most of the characteristics in the freshwater ecosystems are it has continuous flow from the upstream to the downstream. Second, it has continuously changes in physical and chemical condition. the habitats of various kinds of aquatic plants and also water animals. Yeah, most animals in here can be aquatic animals, or it lives in two places, in the land and also in the water, such as ducks, frog. Yeah, the biotic factors that we can see there are echingodon, locust, and many kind of plants. And then there's also fish, frog, snail, newt, and leech. These are just some examples of the freshwater ecosystem. The abiotic factors are sunlight, water, temperature, mud, stone, and so on. Now, we all know that all these animals and non-animals or non-living things have to relate to each other, or they have a role. Each animals have different roles and each abiotic factors have different roles. But to make a cycle of life, there are three parts that you need to know that have, especially for the living things. There are producer, consumer, and decomposer. What is producer? The producer are organisms that make food from abiotic factors like plants, algae, lichen, phytoplankton. They make them all their own food without other animals. Yeah. For example, the plants need the sunlight, the carbon dioxide, and a lot of minerals from the land or from the dirt that make them grow. They doesn't need any other animals to feed them. And from those, they create their own food, such as leaves. Yeah, and these leaves are creating food for the next part of the ecosystem, that is the consumer. Yeah, look at this plant. Yeah, and these are phytoplanktons located over here. Yeah, they are usually located in the open sea in the surface where the sunlight hit. Second one is consumer. Consumer are organisms that can't make their own food. They consume other organisms such as human and most of animals. Okay? Human cannot make their own food. So does animals. They eat other organisms such as plants, or they eat another animal that is animals, like humans eat chicken, cows, pig, and so on. And animals sometimes they eat two things: one that only eat plants and one that only eats and other animals. Yeah, we we can see that these animals and humans eat other beings. There are also a certain plant that eats other animals, but most of these are just examples. Okay, next is the composer. The composer is an organism that decomposes or breaks down organic material from dead organisms, such as bacteria and fungi. Yes, this organism is very important for the ecosystem because the composer will break down organic materials that will be used again by plants. Those organic materials are used by the plants to grow again and again and again. And this is the picture of bacteria and fungi. Okay, that's all for today. In the next lesson, we're going to learn more about the animal cycle, or what you call as the food chain. That's all for today. Thank you.